Hey guys, welcome back to Karting with Chris. Today's video is going to be the Summer 6 final race here at North Texas Karters. So if you didn't see my pre-final race, basically what happened is there was a big wreck at the start and I purposely finished in 9th place so I could be on the inside for the start of this race. Also, the competition for this race is very competitive because there is a cash prize for the top 4 positions. So if you finish within the top 4, you get some money. I think the guy in first gets $1,000, so a lot of money at stake here. I'm down in 9th, but you know, anything can happen within 16 laps. Now before this race started, in the pits, someone told me that at the start of the race, we're all gonna throw our hands up into the air because racing is not only an individual sport, but it's also a spectator sport. So at the start of the race, we're going to give the spectators a beautifully choreographed start. But unfortunately, as we're on the straight here waiting for a green flag, people started putting their hands up into the air, and I was kind of confused at what point did we start putting our hands up in the air. So it wasn't as choreographed as I imagined, but flagman waves green, we're good to go. Some people raise their hands. I didn't because I was kind of confused. But going into turn 1, we've got the inside. We gain 1 position. Going into turn 2, I go semi-defensive. I go down the middle of the track. I don't get past. Same going into turn 3. I'm going to go down the middle. I don't want to get dive bombed. And we managed to slide into 8th place. So coming out of the chicane, we're right behind Royce. And at this point, I kind of started to realize that my gearing was kind of wrong because you can see they're pulling away from me coming out of the corners. And that's because they're running a little more top end than me. So this is a bit of a worry, but you can see I'm still able to hang with them through the corners, but down the straights I really don't have anything. So my strategy for this race is there's no one behind me right now, so I don't have to worry about being passed. But the people in front of me are definitely going to try pass each other. So if someone goes for a move, if Royce in front of me goes for a move, I'm just going to follow him and let everyone else do all the work. So coming out of turn 3, we can see Xander up ahead dipping a wheel, and that's definitely going to slow him down. And coming out of the chicane, there is a bit of a gap between Xander, the person in front of Royce, and the next cart in front. So we can't make too many mistakes or else we'll fall behind and we won't be able to stick with the top guys. So coming out of the last couple of corners here, Royce, I think, notices this, and he's going to go for the move on Xander. This is going to allow me to follow Royce as going through turn 1. He pushes Xander wide. They both go really wide. I get 2 positions for free. We're up into 6th place now. Going through turn 2, I did get a little sideways. This track was really slippery since it's nighttime now. And coming out of turn 3, I didn't really get the best exit. So going through the chicane, we're going to look behind us, and we can see Royce is going to look for the move down into turn 7. I'm not going to fight it too much because if we do fight too much, then the people in front will start pulling away, and that's not what we want. We don't want to battle for 6th. We want to be going for at least the top 5. So my plan was to work together with him, but as you can see, coming out of the last couple of corners, he just pulls away from me. And that's going to be a common theme throughout this race because I was really struggling for grip. It's been a really long time since I've done a night race. I thought there was going to be more grip on the track, but it turns out that the track was really slippery as soon as the sun went down. But coming out of turn 3, we can see someone is off in the grass and going really slow through the chicane. I tried passing Royce and them coming out of the chicane. We see Aiden is right beside us. We're going 3 wide into the chicane, and I had to back off lest I get punted off. And now we're down into 8th place. The person directly in front of us who is off in the grass, that is Landon. Landon is very fast, but you can see he's also struggling for grip, just as I am. So at this point, I'm going to try and work together with Landon. I want to catch up to Aiden and Royce up ahead because they're really not that far off. So if we can start working together, then we can catch up to them. But Landon was struggling for grip because going through turn 3 here, you can see he's going to get a little sideways. I really have to back off, and it really ruins my momentum. And, you know, that's not good when you're trying to catch up to someone. So if I do catch up to Landon, I'm kind of at a difficult position. If he keeps sliding around, then I'm going to try and pass him. But if he finally gets heat into his tires, then I'm going to start working together with him. So coming out of the last couple of corners here, Landon does tap his helmet. He wants me to work together with him, and he did stop sliding around. So on lap 6, I think he finally got some heat into his tires. It did get significantly colder when the sun went down, so I completely understand why he was sliding. But yeah, I am going to try and work together with him because I want to catch up to Aiden and Royce up ahead. So going down the straights, I'm going to try and push him down the straights, but you can see as soon as I hit my rev limiter, I can't catch up to him anymore. And that's what I was talking about at the beginning of this race. My gearing for this race was just completely wrong because whenever I'd get close to someone, I'd hit my rev limiter and I couldn't do anything about it. So going down the back straight, I point my finger forward. I'm not wagging my finger at him. I'm pointing forward to Landon saying, don't look behind you, don't worry about me, I'm going to work together with you, because going down the straights, he would look behind him, and I think he was kind of worried that I would try and pass him, but that's not what I was going to do. So I was basically just saying, don't worry about me, focus up ahead, let's try and catch the people in front. So if you do look up ahead, you can see that there is 4 people in front of Landon, and they're kind of spaced out. And that gap's going to get closer between the 4 of them. And what we don't want is for them to start working together. What Landon and I want is for them to start battling it out, because then we'll be able to catch up to them a little quicker and hopefully gain some positions, because I believe the leader of that group of 4 up ahead is 4th place, and 4th place does get some money. So if we can get up there, that would be a pretty good job. So coming out of the chicane, I'm pushing Landon down the straight. He gives me a thumbs up. He's telling me, thanks for the push. You're welcome, man. But the main places you're going to see me catch up to Landon is coming out of the corners, because I've got a bit more acceleration than him. So coming out of these last couple of corners here, you're going to see once I'm in his draft, I'm going to get closer to him, but I'm going to stop pretty close to him, like I'm a couple inches away, and it looks like I backed off. But that was just me hitting my rev limiter, so that was kind of frustrating, because even if I did try and pass Landon, I would not be able to get close enough. But I'm also trying to work together with him here, and so when I go to push him, I hit my rev limiter and I can't do anything about it. So me not being able to push Landon down the straights, I say not down the straights, I'm pushing him down this straight here, but I can't push him down every straight because I just hit my rev limiter before he does. And that's not going to allow us to be as fast as we would like, especially if I mess up corners like I just did there. But there is a group of people, I think it was like 2 or 3 people behind me working together trying to catch up to Landon and myself. So I really got to be a little more consistent, not mess up corners, and Landon and I just can't fight, because if we start fighting, then the people from behind are going to start catching up, and that's not what we want. Now, the next couple of laps was just Landon and I working together, so I'm going to skip ahead to lap 13, and we can see that Landon's just a little bit ahead of me, and I started making mistakes around lap 13. So going through turn 1 and then going into turn 2, I went a little sideways, and that caused me to lose the draft of Landon up ahead, and Xander from behind caught up to me, and he was within my slipstream. Now, fortunately, Xander started working together with me, because if you can see in front of Landon, there's a group of 4, and they are battling it out. So coming out of turn 7, Landon points forward. He notices that the group of 4 is battling it out, and I point forward coming out of the last couple of corners here. It's telling Xander that, look, let's not fight. The group of 4 up ahead is definitely going to slow down, so let's work together and catch up to them. Now, unfortunately, I was making a lot of mistakes for some reason, as I did go wide going through turn 1. And going through turn 3 here, I went wide again. So I wasn't necessarily tired. I think mentally I just wasn't focused. Also, my tires were starting to fade, so I was kind of losing grip. But yeah, normally this doesn't happen to me, so I was kind of worried. But luckily, Xander wasn't trying to pass me. He was trying to work together with me, so that kind of reassured me that, okay, let's focus up, put our head down, try and catch up to these guys up ahead. So Flagman is waving 2 to go, and when you only have 2 laps left, that's when people really start fighting, because Not a lot of laps left in the race, so you gotta try and make the best of what you've got. So at this point, I was trying to figure out, should I go defensive or not? Is Xander gonna try and pass me? Because the gap in front of me to Landon is not small, so I thought for sure Xander was gonna try and pass me, but I didn't go defensive, and he wasn't gonna try and pass me, because if you look up ahead, you can see the group of 4 in front of Landon are going side by side into turns 8 and 9 here, and that's gonna slow them way the hell down. Adrian up ahead gets forced off into the grass. He's going really slow down the straight here. He's going to go defensive, and unfortunately Xander from behind pushes me, which causes me to push Adrian off the track, and we go down into 9th place. Caden in cart 622 passes us, and we only have 1 lap left to go. Now, unfortunately, that incident in turn 1 caused me to lose all my momentum. You can see I'm nowhere near Caden in front of me. But Xander's going to look for the move on Royce up ahead. That's going to slow them down. I went really wide through turn 7. I was making mistakes. But yeah, I wasn't really close enough to follow Caden or make the move on Royce. And we're going to finish this race out in 9th place. So we're going down the back straight here. Flagman is obviously waving checkered, but the guy behind me almost pushes me off the track. And I don't understand why he did that. Maybe he was frustrated with his race. I don't know. But you definitely shouldn't take out your anger on other people. But other than that, I really enjoyed this race. I know I didn't gain or lose any positions, but I really had a whole lot of fun. It's always fun coming to the tracks, and those last couple of laps were pretty interesting. But that's all I'm going to have for today. If you liked the video, please consider subscribing. If you have any questions, suggestions, or opinions, please comment below. Thank you guys for watching, and have a good day.